What if I told you there was one Solar Warlock build that could make every Scorch weapon in Destiny 2 feel completely broken? Whether you're clearing entire rooms of enemies or melting champions and bosses, this build turns every source of Scorch into an endless chain of explosions, ignitions, and healing. If you've ever wondered why your Solar Warlock feels good, but not game breaking, this is the build that's gonna fix that. After thousands of hours in Destiny 2 and more solar builds than I can ever count, I genuinely think I've found the best Solar Warlock build we've ever had, probably forever. It's simple to put together, works in nearly every activity, and once you understand how all of these pieces interact, it's honestly difficult to go back to anything else. There are many ways to build into its scorching explosions even further than I have to make this build even more powerful. Let's build it. Everything starts with the Dawn Chorus. This helmet takes every point of Scorch you apply and turns it into serious damage. The more Scorch you spread, the more value you get. The best part, you aren't locked into one specific weapon. If your weapon applies Scorch, Dawn Chorus immediately makes it stronger. That means almost every fight becomes an opportunity to trigger massive ignitions. Now, for your subclass. Your super, you know you need to run Song of Flame. That's that survivability. This super is already one of the strongest in the game. But with this build, it becomes even more ridiculous because you're constantly feeding into solar abilities before, during, and after your super. But these are the fragments that make this work. Ember of Char, Ember of Empyrean, and Ember of Ashes. Ember of Ashes lets you apply significantly more Scorch. More Scorch means more ignitions. Ember of Char causes these ignitions to spread even more Scorch to nearby enemies, creating a chain reaction. Then Ember of Empyrean keeps your restoration and radiant effects rolling as long as solar weapon kills keep coming. For sure. Make sure you're running the Hunter's Journal artifact. That's the thing that ties this all together and makes it work even better. The most important selection here is Solar Fulmination. This pushes your ignitions even further, making every explosion hit harder and cover more ground. Combined with the Dawn Chorus, enemies rarely survive long enough to fight back. For general gameplay, killing ads, I highly recommend Skyburner's Oath. Every shot applies Scorch, meaning you're constantly building towards ignitions without relying entirely on abilities. It keeps the build flowing from the moment you pull the trigger from the hip. When it's time for boss damage, I would recommend swapping over to the Dragon's Breath. It naturally applies huge amounts of Scorch, triggers devastating ignitions, and pairs perfectly with everything this build is already trying to do. The damage over time is pretty crazy. It's one of the strongest heavy weapon pairings you can make with the Dawn Chorus. This build is one of those rare setups where every piece actually complements every other piece. Your helmet strengthens your Scorch. Your fragments spread that Scorch. Your artifact amplifies the ignitions. Your weapons constantly keep the cycle going. The result is a Solar Warlock that feels like it never runs out of momentum. If you're looking for one solar build to carry you through almost everything in Destiny 2 has to offer, I honestly think this is it. Please subscribe, the channel definitely appreciates you. And check out my channel for more Destiny 2 videos. Now, if you've made it this far, just stick around and check out this gameplay that I did with this build.
Is a Vex cell block. I didn't think time-traveling robots would form gangs in prison, but there are Vex here of multiple subtypes, slaved to a single mind.
Kill or be killed. Round one. Kill them, dead Guardian. They are dead. You are not. Round 2. Dismantle mines. Or die. Victory will earn. You face the final round. A mighty Cabal warrior challenges.
What do we have here?
You fought. You won. Your treasure awaits.
Looks like the trickster left you a present. I always hated her. but she made me laugh. That's the backup control room, where the Warden's servitor keeps his closest friends and angriest inmates. Good luck.
An old friend is here. Judgment at hand. All reinforcements. Bridges are removed. Time stock outbreaks. The overground Minotaur.
Okay, I'm making a mental note never to piss you off.
No hostiles on tracker. I'll bring the ship into transmat range.
Hey, I might be looking for someone to watch my back one of these days. To bring some major heat to a gunfight. You for hire? I'll be in touch.